Welcome to day 4 of the 30-day MyDFIR SOC Analyst Challenge, which is a challenge I created for the sole purpose of helping aspiring SOC analysts obtain practical experience in 30 days. If you're interested in following along, I would highly recommend you pause this video and start from day 1 if you haven't already. By the end of this video, you'll know how to set up and install your own Kibana instance. Let's get started. To get started with Kibana, you want to head over to elastic.co/downloads/Kibana. And similar to Elasticsearch, you want to select the dropdown and select deb x86-64. As of recording, the version of Kibana is currently 8.15. Highlight over the big blue button and right click and select copy link address. And now let's head over to our SSH session and I'll type in wget and paste that in. Hit enter, and this will go out and download Kibana. Once that's done downloading, type in ls, and we do see our Kibana file right here. So to install this, I'll type in dpkg -i Kibana, hit tab for auto completion, and enter. After a couple seconds, Kibana should be installed, and we need to do a little bit of configuration changes within Kibana's configuration file. And to do that, I'll type in nano, and the configuration file is located under /etc/kibana/kibana.yaml. So YML. And here we go. These are all of the configuration files for Kibana. The two changes that we want to make are the server port and the server host. So on the line for server port, I'll remove the £, and for the server host, I'll do the same. Notice how the server host is currently localhost. We want to remove that and then put in our public IP address of the virtual machine. Now, because I forgot what the IP address is, let's go back over to our voucher instance, and our public IP can be found at the top. So this one right here. Again, yours is going to be different than mine, so just make sure you copy yours, and we'll paste it as our server host. Now we can go ahead and hold Ctrl X, Y to save, and enter. I'll clear out the screen, and now we can type in systemctl daemon-reload, systemctl enable kibana.service, systemctl start kibana.service, and let's check the status by typing in systemctl status kibana.service. And we can see it is currently running. So now we know for sure that Kibana and Elastic is currently up and running. Before we access Kibana, there is one more thing that we need to do, and that is to generate an Elasticsearch enrollment token for Kibana. And to do this, I'll press Q on my keyboard to exit. We want to change into the directory of /user/share Elasticsearch/bin. Type in ls, and these are all of the binaries for Elasticsearch. The one that we're interested in is the create enrollment token. To invoke that, I'll type in ./Elasticsearch-create-enrollment, and I'll hit tab for auto completion. I'll add on --scope and then type in Kibana. By doing this, it will generate a token that we will copy and paste into Kibana itself. So starting from EY, I will highlight all of this up until the double equal sign and right click. And let's open up another notepad and paste this in. That way we don't lose it. In fact, I'll even type in Elasticsearch enrollment token. Let's go ahead and minimize that. Now what we want to do is access our Kibana instance. And to do that, we'll open up a new tab and type in HTTP, paste in our public IP address, and we want to go into port 5601 by adding in a colon here. Now you might be wondering why 5601? Well, if we go back into our SSH and then I'll cat out our Kibana's configuration file, YML, and I'll pipe it into less, we can see that the server.port is currently set to 5601. So that is why I am using that. Now currently it says connection timed out. Come to think of it, under our firewall rules for our voucher instance, we currently have our firewall allowing only port 22 from our IP address onto this virtual machine. Now, because we are trying to access the 5601 port, we need to allow access from our public IP to this port. So anytime you get a connection timed out, think about your firewall rules. Over to my Vultr instance, I'll click on Firewall Manage, and we want to configure the one called 30-day MyDFIR SOC Challenge. And currently it is set to SSH only. What I'll do here is click on the dropdown and click on TCP. And instead of adding individual ports, I'll just specify a port range. That way it covers everything. So the port range is going to be 0 to 65535. And the source is currently set to anywhere. I want to set it to my IP. And then click on the plus button. And then we get an error. Unable to add rule. Invalid port number must be between 1 and 65535. Which makes sense. Let's go ahead and select TCP again. And then we'll type in 1-65535. Select the dropdown and select my IP. Now click on the plus button again, and we're good to go. I'll give this a couple seconds and then we'll refresh our Kibana web GUI. After a couple minutes, I tried refreshing and we are still getting an error connection timed out. To troubleshoot, let's go and check the system services. So systemctl status kibana.service. This is currently active and running. And let's check out our Elasticsearch service. Systemctl status elasticsearch.service. And this as well is running. Since we are getting this error connection timed out, there is one last thing that I want to do, and that is to configure the firewall rule on the Ubuntu virtual machine itself. And I'll do that by typing in ufw allow, and let's do port 5601. Now this will allow any incoming connections towards the 5601 port. Now let's try and connect to 5601. And there you go. Okay, there are two things that I had to do here. The first one is our firewall group within Vultr itself. So we want to make sure that we are allowing a port range of 1 through 65,535, where the IP address is our IP, or in your case, your public IP address. Secondly, you want to modify the firewall within your virtual machine itself by using ufw allow 5601, which is Kibana's port. Now we only need to allow 5601 for the time being. Later on, if there's additional ports that we need to enable, we'll do that when the time comes. But if we head over to our Kibana here, notice how it says enrollment token. This is where we copied and generated a enrollment token. So I'll copy that and paste it in here. Click on configure elastic, and then it says copy the code from the Kibana server or run bin/kibana-verification-code.bat to retrieve it. How do we do that? Well, let's go back over to our SSH session. We want to go into our user/share/kibana/bin folder. Clear out the screen, type in ls, and here is all of the binaries. The one that we're most interested in is the kibana-verification-code. So to execute that, I'll type in ./kibana-verification and hit tab for auto completion and hit enter. Your verification code is 115341. 115341. Click on verify and perfect. Username and password. Now, if you recall, we did paste in some of the key information into our notepad, which is right here. So when we installed Elastic, it provided us with the security auto configuration information. And the default user that it created is called Elastic, and the password is right here. So yours is going to be different. Now, let's just say that for some reason you completely forgot to copy this. Well, how do you actually reset the password? Thankfully, there is a command right here that shows you how to reset your password. So if that's the case, if you don't remember your password, run this command and you should be good to go. But in my case, I'll go ahead and copy in this password, type in Elastic, and paste it in. And there you go. Welcome to Elastic. Start by adding integrations, and we can do that or explore on my own. And that's what I'll do. I'll click on explore on my own. And this right here is the homepage of Elastic. There is one last configuration before I end this video, and that is to add in what are called key stores. So if I were to click on this hamburger icon on the top left corner, and then scroll down and select alerts under security. From here, I'll close out this tab, and you might notice it says API integration key required. A new encryption key is generated for saved objects each time you start Kibana. Without a persistent key, you cannot delete or modify rules after Kibana restarts. To set a persistent key, add the XPack encrypted saved objects encryption key with any text value of 32 or more characters to the kibana.yaml file. Now, let's go and do that. Over to our SSH session. Since we're already under the Kibana bin directory, the one that we're most interested in is the Kibana-encryption keys. This one right here. And I'll go and invoke that by typing in ./Kibana-encryption and tab for auto completion. And what we want to add in is generate. Now, in case you didn't know, you can always just hit enter and it'll provide you with the commands that you can run. And thankfully, we only have one command here. So I'll hit the up arrow key and type in generate and hit enter. And then we get 3 encryption keys. The first one being the encrypted saved objects, then the reporting, and security. Now we need to add this into what is called a key store. And to do that, I'll just copy all of this, open up my trusty notepad, and let's paste that in here. Go back to my SSH session, clear out the screen, type in ls. And this time, the binary that we're interested in is the Kibana-keystore. So ./Kibana-keystore, and I'll type in add and go over to my notepad here. We just want to add in this field name. So the xpack.encrypted saved objects.encryption key. Do not include the colon here. You only want the name. Paste that in, hit enter, and then it says, hey, enter in the value. That I will do. So copy that, paste that in, and enter. Now let's rinse and repeat and do that for the last 2. Copy the field name, paste that in here, and then copy the field value, which ends in FB4 and starts with FDF. And yours will be different than mine. And finally, the last one here, which is XPack security encryption key. And do the same for the value here. Awesome. Now I'll go and restart this. So systemctl, restart Kibana, hit tab for auto completion and enter. Go back over to my browser and refresh. Type in my username and my password. And there you go. You no longer see that API integration required error. You have successfully installed Kibana, and that concludes day 4. And in the next video, we'll go over how to set up our own Windows server, which will act as our Windows target machine. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.